want to thank you all for coming and being here again. Those of you sticking around, I got handed a few questions here, and Don may hand me a few more at some point, but I'll go really quickly through these. I think the general theme from what I've seen from questions is, why don't we do more? Why don't we get better protections? Why don't we get a better deal? Why don't we include more areas? So I'm going to just kind of touch them as a group and not just necessarily answer them as individual questions. Right now, like I mentioned a little bit before, you have certain political realities you're faced with, okay? You have a very short time period before any permitting decision happens in Saratoga at the same time. So wherever you fall politically in the spectrum, you have to understand that what you have to work with right now is a Republican governor who's got a record, as you've heard before, of trying to make us as open as business as possible. So I think it's a fair comment to say that we have to be able to get as much as we possibly can. And to make any illusions that we're not doing our due diligence to get the absolute best deal possible, it's an absolute falsehood. I laid out the decisions that you folks can make, and as your representative, I will follow those decisions completely. If you want no bill, understand the consequences. If you want, the Krug Coles bill, understand the trade-offs. I mean, there is no pure bill for me to say, let's put the entire state of Wisconsin in an SRA. There's no pure way to get any votes for that type of measure in the current climate you're in the time frame you have. So that's what I lay out to you today, folks, is that this deal is going to protect Saratoga as much as humanly possible. And yes, you should. Make sure you read through as many details of the bill as you can. We'll have a public hearing on any changes. Before we have a vote on this bill, we'll have a public hearing on the Assembly Substitute Amendment. So you'll hear all of the changes and you can compare it to the original bill. The original bill hearing in SB 477 was on Wisconsin I. So you can go back and watch that, and then you can come to the hearing in Madison to give your opinions again on the Assembly version. It all comes down to the idea, and the trade-offs have to come in to get better protections for Saratoga, Rome, and these area lakes in the Wisconsin River. Trade-offs have to happen. I can't get all the votes I need if we don't have some trade-offs to happen, and that's the decision I will absolutely leave in your hands. But the bill that we're crafting, I think, will give you the best possible outcome if you live in this area. And the challenges that are existent outside of this area, you have a very slimmed down process to get back into the equation. And there should be a process. There should be automatic designations to begin with, but we decided to go ahead with 3 of them to try to protect this situation. But the best, purest process would be the one that's fair across the board for everybody to start at the exact same spot. We're going to jump 3 areas ahead of that and give everybody else that guaranteed process, politically free process, where you have a professional hydrogeologist help you designate what you need from the legislature. So those things are there. So I think that kind of sums up the bulk of those questions. We've talked to the governor, we've talked to other legislators, we've got the areas that we think we can get in to start. Other areas are close to being able to be in, and those would be the ones that can first apply. That's what we're going to be able to get to you with this bill we're working on right now in this climate you're in. So with that, take floor questions, or are we just taking written questions? I can take a couple floor questions. Way in the back, go ahead.
If we would contact somebody, what?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
If we